to have a little coffee, knit, watch the sunrise. So I think that would be quite lovely. A pillow for my... Sometimes on social media, it can feel... Hello and welcome to another vlog. I'm heading up to the Adirondacks tomorrow, and obviously I need to bring some whips with me. So I thought we would just start this out right in it, deciding what I'm gonna bring to work on. I have a few of my whips in front of me. I actually need to go through my basket here and see, well, I know what else is in here, but pull those out from the basket so we can go through what I have got. I think I'm just gonna start by showing you the 4 whips that I'm thinking about bringing and then talk through my thoughts so we can come to a decision. Okay, so the first whip that I have is my toffee sweater, which I actually don't think I've shown in a few weeks. Really not that much progress has been made, but I ripped back like I said I would and then re-knit this whole front panel. I had a little bit of rowing out in my first row or two of where I ripped back, but then I think it started to even out a little bit. I'm not sure if you can really tell, but that is the first whip I'm thinking about, is my toffee sweater. The second whip, I'll just go with my next sweater, is my Michaela sweater by Knit. I am currently finishing up the neckline here. I'm binding it down and then I'll cast it off, and that will just leave this sleeve here to do. So this is my second sweater choice. I already know just off the bat I will not be bringing both sweaters. I'm going to probably end up choosing one sweater to bring. Both is just too much for like what is in reality a 2.5-day trip. So those are my 2 sweater choices. And then I have 2 shawl scarf choices. My first is, as you've seen all of my last vlog, is my botanist shawl. I am starting to record this video like 2 days after I finished my little monogamous vlog with this shawl, and I have not picked it up at all. I think being monogamous with this, not that I'm like sick of it, but I don't know, not super interested in picking this up right now since I did spend about 72 hours only working on this one. But this is, again, the botanist shawl. As I said, I learned that I've been pronouncing the designer's name wrong. I've been calling her Joji, but her name is actually Hohi. So this is the botanist shawl by Hohi Locatelli. So that is my first little shawl option. And then my second, I guess it's a scarf, not a shawl, is I think a new cast on. You have not seen this yet. And that is my... Eso scarf by aka Nora Knits. I really haven't gotten all that far on it, just a little point, but it's coming along. It is so cute, and I really like how this yarn is working up. It's a very October purple. I don't know, it reminds me of like Halloween time. So that is my 4th choice for projects. I think I already know one that I am absolutely going to rule out, which is my botanist shawl. I just don't see myself picking it up this weekend, so I think this one can go back into its project bag and in this basket, which I will deal with later. Okay, and then I have these last 3 to look at. I think looking at these 3, I actually think I'm also going to rule out my toffee sweater because I did just finish the ball of yarn that I was working with, and these come in hanks, so I'd have to wind them. I don't have a, what do you call them? Swift and winder. So I like manually sit there. I put the hank around my knees and I sit there and wind the ball by hand for like an hour, and I just don't have the time to do that tonight before we leave. So I'm gonna leave this one behind, although I really would like to make some progress on this. Maybe I'll actually bring a ball of yarn and I will wind it while I'm there one night just watching a show. That actually might be a happy compromise for me on this one. So that means that I guess by elimination, I am just default bringing my Michaela sweater and my Eso scarf. So I'm pretty happy with both of those. This one I think will be a very easy little knit for the train and the car. This one I'm not as sold on. As long as, oh my gosh, these needles just keep poking through. As long as I finish the neckline, this collar tonight, and pick up the stitches on the sleeves and get like halfway through the German short rows before we get on the train tomorrow, I think I'll work on this one while there. If I don't do that, I'm not picking it up at all over the weekend. I just know myself. So this Michaela sweater may be dependent on what I'm able to do tonight. So you'll have to keep watching to find out if I bring it, and if I do, how far I get on it. So those are the two I'm gonna bring. I am going to pack these up into little project bags right now. I think I've shown on my TikTok that I use like old shoe bags, not like old shoe bags, but just shoe bags that you get like when you buy shoes. So for example, do I have any? This is like a shoe bag. Actually, this one's kind of nice because it's compartmentalized into two. I don't know if you can see, it's like got a stitch down the middle. So if I had two smaller projects, like if I had two scarves, I could just do one and one. So that's nice for that. I do not. So I will be using this one, which is not a shoe bag. It's just like a random drawstring bag. My little ISO will go in there. And then another random drawstring bag, Simply Ecology. Oh, you know what? I think I bought these at one point as reusable produce bags. So my Michaela sweater will be going in here. But those are the two whips I'm bringing. I'm glad we decided that. That really was so much easier than I thought. I don't know why when I go away for a trip, sometimes I feel like choosing what whips I want to bring is such... I feel like it takes up so much of my mental energy before deciding, because I'm sitting there umming and ahhing, and I don't know, just like once I just sit down and look at them and like think through them, I make the decision very quickly. So very happy to have that done. As for needlepoint, I am going to also bring my Statue of Liberty canvas, but I am currently working on that while we watch our show at night. I worked on that last night, and I will be working on it again tonight. So that is set up in its little spot next to my bed, so I can just like grab it while we watch our show. But I will be sure to bring that tomorrow. And then I also have another very quick, very small needlepoint package to talk about quickly. So I purchased this, I'm not sure if you can see it, pumpkin gourd canvas from, I can never remember the needlepoint designers' names. Is it not Lakeshore Limited? That's an Amtrak train, isn't it? Is it Lakeside Stitchery, Lakeshore Stitch? I don't know. I will put the designer's name on the screen and the name of this canvas. But anyways, I ordered my thread for this canvas from Casey and Needlepoint. I typically go to Rita's on the Upper East Side as my like preferred needlepoint store, but I don't know why I didn't this time. I don't have to explain myself. I wanted to order online. So I ordered a bunch from Casey Needlepoint. It's my first time ordering from them. Super fast, very lovely experience. I'll show the thread I got in a second, but I wanted to share first this little thing that came with my order, which at first I said, okay, what is this? It's on a lanyard. It kind of looks like glasses. I was like, I feel very Other Bennett's Sister, if anyone else watched that. And then I was playing around with it and I said, oh, it opens. It's scissors. How fantastic is that? I just thought that was such a wonderful, nifty little tool. They're protected. They're a little difficult to close back up, but yeah, I just thought that was fantastic. So I don't know if they do that with every order, with your first order, or if I don't know, was special and got them. But if you order from them and you've gotten other little tools, like please tell me what you've gotten as a little gift with purchase. Anyways, that was a fun little surprise for me. But the thread that I purchased, I haven't even opened it yet. It still has the sticker, so we're gonna open it together. I got, you know what, maybe I'll pull the canvas down and I'll show you on the floor. One second. Okay, I'm just holding you right now, but this is the canvas. As you can see, it's like pretty big canvas. It is 13 mesh, and the thread that I got for the background 3 of these, although I really don't think I'll need all 3. They are Milan by Tilly Thomas in the color Barley. They are, I think, a silk merino, just very pretty beige color for the background. So I got that one there. And then I purchased a bunch of yellows for the yellowy pumpkins. I have 4 Milan cards here for all of the different yellows that you see. So we have butter, goldenrod. It's called camo. It's like a brownie gold, I guess. And then mustard. As for oranges, I also purchased 4. I have cantaloupe, nectarine. This one's actually pretty similar to that. Sweet potato. Like, they're very, very similar. In person, this one's a little darker. And the last one is Sidecar, which is a bit more of a reddish orange. So that's the oranges I got, which there actually aren't a ton of orange pumpkins on here. Now that I'm looking at it, I only see like 3. They're actually mainly green, but whatever. As for greens, I got 3 greens. Again, 2 of these look near identical. I have Salamander and Turtle, which in real life next to each other, I think they look the same on camera. Salamander showing up a little darker. And then I got a super dark green, which is Crocodile. I will be using that for obviously like these pumpkins here. I was hoping to use these 2 for this one, or like the light and the dark ones like those, but I think I'll have to get some sort of a medium green in between these 2, like these 2 shades for this, or maybe even a lighter green, like a pale green. I don't know. I'm not beholden to Milan cards for everything, but I do like the idea of all using only one brand of thread, but also open to others. And then the last 2 I purchased are Otter, which is for the browns, like on the stems here, the browns on that one. And then for these blue, there's 2 bluey pumpkins. I bought Dawn. However, I think this is too blue. It's much more of like a hydrangea blue. And looking online, I think maybe I should have gone for Roomba. These pumpkins are just a little too, well, actually, I don't know. I would love your thoughts on that if you're someone who has thoughts on this. Do you think that blue is good, or should I get more of like a periwinkle blue? I really don't know. I'm quite torn on that. So those are the threads that I purchased for this canvas. I'm very excited to start it. I think I'll start it once I finish my Statue of Liberty canvas. And this will be like a very fun mid-August through hopefully late September project, because I really want to turn this into a pillow for my chair. So those are the threads that I purchased from KC Needlepoint. I obviously need to buy a few more. I love looking at thread like this. How fun to see all of the cards. But anyways, I obviously need to purchase more thread. I will at some point go in person. Maybe while I'm up in Vermont, I'll go to my favorite needlepoint store, which is the Pine Needle in Manchester. I'm in the Adirondacks this weekend, but then I'll be up in Vermont in August. So maybe I'll go there and buy some other threads. Like I said, I'm not like beholden to using Milan by Tilly Thomas, but part of me just likes using all of the same thread brand for a project. But if a color from another brand speaks to me and I think would work really well on this canvas, then I will buy that and use it. But those are the threads. My next step is to think about stitches, because I really want to use some fun stitches on the pumpkins and the gourds. I'd love to do some beading. Like I love, you know, like the warty gourds that you buy, like the sky here is very warty and so is that one. I'd love to use for like these little bumps, the little warts, little beads. So I have a ton of little seed beads. So that is something I also want to do and I will learn to do. I've never done beading in a needlepoint project before, but I think that will be a very fun thing to learn how to do. And then other than that, I would just love to do some fun decorative stitches for like the larger chunks of the pumpkins. So like for the dark green here, the blue, the darker yellow, the orange. I'd love to do a few fun stitches as well. And then of course, something fun for the background. I really want this to be an exploratory canvas for me, let's say, where I try and learn a lot of different stitches and techniques. That is the update on that. I am now going to clean this all up because I have a mess of whips and yarn and thread around me, and continue packing. So I don't know when I'll see you next. perhaps it will be later this evening if I finish the neckline on my Michaela sweater. I'll give you a little update on that. Maybe do a little pre-trip try on for you. I don't think I've tried it on for YouTube or TikTok or anyone other than myself in the mirror yet. So maybe I'll do that, but if not, I'll see you tomorrow morning at Grand Central. Good morning. I am not going to show you what I look like because I am a total disaster right now. I'm sitting here packing my bag for the weekend. This is my bag of things, clearly all of these random things. And I wanted to show you, I did cast off. I finished this neckline last night, the collar on my Michaela sweater. I'm actually pretty pleased with how this turned out. I haven't done a folded over neckline like this where you like bind it down and then cast it off. I haven't done that since my Yoon sweater, which was, oh gosh, was that 2023, maybe 2024? So 2 years, and this is only my second time ever doing it, and I think it looks pretty good. I will say, it's a bit nicer on my Yoon sweater. I think the yarn that I used for my Yoon sweater was a little less fiddly and slippery. I found this yarn to actually be quite slippery on the needles, and I had some pretty tight stitches, but I think it actually looks not too bad. I'm hoping when I block it, it'll adjust itself as needed, but I wanted to give you that little update because I am bringing this, even though I did not cast on the sleeve stitches. I will be doing that maybe like this afternoon if I'm hanging out for an hour or two and have some quiet downtime to myself. I'll pick these up and do that then. Okay, it is now Tuesday. It is Tuesday evening. We got back 48 hours ago, I guess, on Sunday evening. I had such a relaxing weekend. I did not take any video of anything other than what you just saw, which I think is just like the lake in the morning, maybe a little bit of the train ride, I think. I don't know. But I thought before I go, I would show you where I ended up on my knitting, but first I want to share a fun little yarn mail package that I returned home to, which is my Knit Picks palette yarn. This is a fingering weight yarn. It is 231 yards per 50 grams, and I have 11 balls of it. The color that I purchased is Briar Heather, which is a really pretty, like, moussey brown. It's kind of rabbit colored ish. I don't know. I just posted a TikTok about 3 different patterns I am thinking about for this, so I will link that below if you want to see them or want to chime in on that. But this is some yarn that I'm thinking about bringing with me to Vermont. I am leaving again in just a few days for about a week, and I am very much so looking forward to it and looking forward to all of the knitting that I'm going to get done while there. We go to Vermont for a week every summer, and it is very much so my knitting, making hobby, crafting Super Bowl week. It is my number one, just like sit, chill, knit, read, hangout week. So I am very much so looking forward to it because I did not get much knitting done this weekend at all. I wound up just being very present. I actually slept in a little bit, or at least sleep in is a lie. I laid in bed until like 7 or 7:30 every morning. I still woke up early, but I just laid in the dark with my thoughts, with the book, with the ceiling, a journal, just kind of did a bit more mental things, I guess, than knit in the morning. And I didn't knit a ton in the car or on the train. So I'll show you what I did get done, which is this much on my ESO scarf, which actually, compared to where I started, is a decent amount. I think I was like around here-ish, maybe a little further along on Thursday when I showed you, and Now I'm to here. It doesn't look like too much right now, but that is what we've got. I still have a lot left to do, clearly. I would say maybe I'm like a quarter of the way through. I actually haven't weighed this yarn, so maybe I'll weigh it when I finish recording this. I will put the amount on the screen for you so you can see how much yarn I have left. I think I started with 106 grams was what I weighed this to be, so around, what's half of that, like 52, 53-ish grams, I will start decreasing. So that is the progress that I made on my ESO scarf. And then as for my other projects, I barely worked on them at all. I actually ended up deciding to not bring any needlepoint with me just because, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. I knew I wasn't gonna work on it, so I didn't need to waste this space. But I did the tiniest bit on my Michaela sweater. As you can see, it's all like crumpled up there, but I think I showed, yeah, I did show that I finished the collar here. But what I did do while away is pick up the stitches for the arm, and I am about to start my German short rows up here on the shoulder. So that is where I am with that. This is my big project for tonight. I just need to do these German short rows. I picked these up on, I think it was Friday afternoon when we got there, and I had this sitting out on my nightstand the entire time thinking, I'm gonna do the German short rows, I'm just gonna get through it, and I never did. I really despise German short rows, but as I said before, I understand that they are a necessary evil, and so I will do them. But that is everything I did this weekend. I still want to share all of this with you because I think it's important to see that sometimes other people also aren't very fast knitters. Sometimes on social media, it can feel a little overwhelming, and I definitely start to compare myself because there are some people out there who knit so much so quickly. They finish like full sweaters in 2-3 weeks, which for me is completely unrealistic. I mean, I've had this on my needles since late February, maybe. Granted, I took a pause for like 2.5-ish months, but still, it's still probably gonna be like a 3 to 4 month long active whip for me. So yeah, I think it's important to see that not everybody else is a super speedy knitter. I especially find when watching on TikTok the what I knit in quarter 1, 2, 3, whatever videos, or on YouTube, everything I knit in 2025, whatever videos, I feel very discouraged by my own pace, and I am sure I'm not alone. So if you are also a slow knitter, this is your reminder that most people are slow knitters, and it is maybe not normal, or I'm not gonna say normal, it's not the norm to make 15, 20, 30 sweaters in a year. It's just not feasible or realistic. So I'm going to post this to serve as a reminder that you can go away for a lovely little lake weekend and only knit, I don't know, 6 inches on a little scarf and barely start a sleeve. That is everything I worked on this weekend. Again, I didn't bring any needlepoint. I just brought these 2 projects and barely touched them, and I'm a-okay with that. So I think this was a very short, uneventful vlog where we spent most of it honestly in this corner talking about my whips, but that is everything. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye.